So yeah, hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you guys some new engines that I got today. Now, one thing I should mention is that, well, two things actually. First thing is, I got all these items when I went over to my aunt and uncle's house today, and pretty much yeah. And that also brings me to my next thing. I'm currently filming this on Saturday, but by the time you see this video, it'll be uploaded on Sunday. So pretty much yeah. So just keep that in mind. So anyways, yeah, like I said, let me show you the characters that I got, and yeah, like I said, so pretty much yeah, let me show you them. So, like I said, let me grab them here. Alright, so starting off here here is, as you can see, this is Thomas, as you can see, but pretty much, yeah, this is basically an old Trackmaster Thomas, and pretty much a majority of these items, I will say, are old Trackmaster. So yeah, so I don't mind, like I said, it's pretty cool actually. Anyway, so yeah, so like I said, pretty much, yeah, as you can see, that's Thomas, and yeah, honestly, yeah, like I said, that's pretty much all I'll say. So yeah, as you can see, he's a good runner, and yeah. There's not much to say, honestly. Overall, he's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, so I'll put him off to the side. Next up here we have this item, which is, well, as you can see, here we have is, well, it's another Thomas, but this one, the way you can tell it's different is by the motor. Yeah, as you can tell, that one's really loud. But yeah, but pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much the exact same Thomas, but I don't mind. Next up here we have another character, and that is, well, it's basically another Thomas, the same one, but I don't mind. But unfortunately, this one doesn't have a battery in it, and this one also had a lot of hair in it, so who knows if it works. I'm hoping it does, but anyways, yeah, that's all I'll say. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. And hold on, let me fix this over here. So yeah, so sorry about that, I was fixing something else. Anyways, yeah, next up here here he is. Well, here is another Thomas, except this one's a little bit different. This one's a different Thomas, but that's fine. Anyways, yeah, so as you can see, as you heard, he runs well. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. Next up here we have this item, which is, well, pretty much, yeah. As you can see, this is the snow clearing Thomas, since as you can see, he has a lot of snow on him, and he's actually pretty cool. So yeah, and he's a smooth runner. Anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much all the Thomas. That's pretty much all the Thomases that were in that box. Also, a little side note is that my aunt got all these engines and the other things in one big box, and she paid 20 bucks for it altogether, which is not bad. And yeah, and the person that you got those characters from that I'm showing you, along with, pretty much what I'm trying to say is that the engines that my aunt got from that person, along with the cars, since, well, there's cars as well, and some other things from that one person, from a person. The person also had another Thomas thing there that you got for $3. So, but I'll show you that later on. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next character that we have here is, it's Talking James. Now, I never actually had this James before, so this is one of the characters I never actually had. Well, of course I have James, but I never had this version of him, and let me show you. Also, the only problem is that the coupling thing is, well, it's a bit broken, but yeah, but he runs though, so yeah, so I'll do that.
Hello, I'm James.
So yeah, so I figured I'd give you an example. Anyway, so yeah, so that's James. Now let's move on. Next up here we have is, it's Percy. Now this is just one of the Percys that's in there, and that's alright. I said more than one, but yeah, but this Percy's a good runner. But as you can see, he's a bit loud, and the wheels. Yeah, there's a bit of a problem with his wheels, and also he has like a little mark on his face, but that's fine. Anyways, let's move on. Next up here we have is, well, it's another Percy, like I said, but this Percy's a bit quieter, which is nice. And yeah, so pretty much, yeah, that's all I'll say. Anyways, yeah, next up here we have, the next item here is, well, it's another Percy, but yeah, but pretty much, yeah. This one also doesn't have a battery in him, but that's fine. Like I said, hopefully he does work. Anyways, yeah, next, let's move on. The final Percy for this video is this Percy, which is, well, a dirty Percy, which I also never had this Percy before. But yeah, but the cool thing about this Percy is that, according to my friend Superdin, since I was telling him and some other people about the engines that I got. According to Superdin, this told me that this is a search and rescue Percy, and I looked it up for myself, and it turns out he was right. And the cool thing is that I actually have the cars that come with this Percy, but that's for later on. So pretty much, yeah, that's the final Percy for this video. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Sticking with number order. Next up here we have is Toby. Now actually I already have this Toby, but I don't mind having another one of him, like this version of him with the different colored wheels, since usually the ones that they made before had gray wheels, and this one has black wheels. And I'm pretty sure that pretty much what I'm trying to say is I'm pretty sure that they just kept giving Toby like black wheels, but that's fine. Like I said, I think that actually suits him. And yeah, and as you can hear, he also runs well. So yeah, so let's move on. Next up here we have is Emily. Now as you can see, this is another old Trackmaster one, and I actually already have this Emily. In fact, I have two of her actually. One of them that has a tender, and then the other one that's missing the tender, but it's fine. This one works. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, let's move on. Next up here we have is Spencer. Now this version of Spencer in particular is the silver one, and I actually never had this one in particular, so that's another character that I never had. But yeah, as you can hear, he runs well. It's just he makes a bit of noise, but that's fine. And yeah, also one thing, if you notice on all these characters, they have like some marks and stuff on them, but that's fine. I don't mind. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next character here that I'll show you is Stanley. Now this is my second Stanley for Trackmaster, since the first one I have is a Hit Toys one, and the one I have, I gave him a front coupling, and the one I have also lost his nameplate, and his lining is starting to come off a bit. But yeah, but unfortunately about this Stanley is that there's one problem, which if I can get him to turn on, as you can see, that's the problem. He doesn't run. His motor works, but he just doesn't run. So yeah, so that's the unfortunate thing, but hopefully I'll be able to fix him properly. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Next up here we have it's Rosie, and yeah, like I said, there's not much to say. Although the interesting thing is that this Rosie is different. This Rosie is different than the other Rosies I have, since the Rosies I have are the other Hit Toys ones with like the white running board, and this one's missing the white running board, but that's fine. He runs well. And yeah, like I said. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next up here we have is Salty. And yeah, and Salty, as you can see, he's pretty cool. So he also runs well. So yeah, that's all I'll say. So yeah, also by the way, I'm sorry if I'm not talking much about these characters, but yeah, but like I said, I hope you don't mind. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next up here we have is Arthur, and this is my second Arthur. Well, to be fair though, in the past I did actually have a Tomy Arthur, but unfortunately he's long gone, and the Arthur I have currently is the same one, the Hit Toys one, but he's like, well, pretty much when I was younger, I made my Arthur look a certain way, so I'm not sure if I'll still use that Arthur that I've been using, that I had for a long time, or if I'll switch to this one, who knows, but he also runs well. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next up here we have is Caitlin, but the unfortunate thing I should mention about this Caitlin is that she's missing her tender, since it wasn't in there, but it's fine. She still works though, so I don't know what I'll do with her. I don't know if I'll make her a tender or what I'll do, since I definitely plan to make her into a custom either way, but that depends on what custom though. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. The final engine that was in that box is Rusty, and this is actually my second Rusty. Well, in the past I had some Rusties before, but this is my second one of this Rusty in particular. But I feel like I'm more like this one more, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and he also runs well. So yeah, so pretty much yeah, that's the final engine that was in that bag, or the box. What am I saying? Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the cargo, or to the cars now, shall we? So first off, here we have is this car, and that is the From McCool's Farm car. And I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, this car actually comes with one of the regular Percys. And yeah, so the cool thing about this car is that you can actually do this. It actually opens up on the side. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I'll put that there. Next up here we have is an orange truck, but that's not that. There's also another orange truck. I figured I'd put these two together because, well, yeah. So yeah, so that's two orange trucks. So yeah. Next up here we have is well, this truck. As you can see, it's just a basic blue truck, but that's fine. Except it's pretty cool. So that's my favorite color. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. The next car I'll show you is, well, it's this orange flatbed, and this was one of the cars I was talking about that comes with, well, that comes with this Percy. So yeah, so that's one of the cars. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, the only thing that's missing from that search and rescue Percy is the cargo for that car, but that's fine. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next car I'll show you is this car, and the cool thing about this car is that you can actually tip it, and the cargo dumps out. This car actually comes with a Misty Island set, which unfortunately I never got that set, but at least I have the car, so that's pretty cool. Next up here we have is this car. Now this car actually comes with the Arthur at the Coppermine set. Let me show you what it does. Like on the bottom there's like a thing, and when you activate it, it basically spins the cargo around. So yeah, so that's pretty much the cool thing. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next up here we have is a peppermint syrup tanker. Now actually I already have this tanker car, but it's nice to have another one. And yeah, like that's all I'll say. So yeah, so moving on. Next up here we have is, well, basically a regular tanker, you could say. But yeah, yeah, that's all I'll say. Next up here we have is this tanker, and this is the final car that comes with the Search and Rescue Percy. So yeah, so like I said, I have all three of the cars. I have both of the cars plus the Percy. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, and of course this is a water tanker, I should mention. And yeah, and pretty much the final car that was in that box is this car, which is basically, well, as you can see, it's basically a red brake van or a caboose, whatever you want to say. And actually I have two of these. Actually I already have two of these, so it's nice to have a third one. But yeah, but pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much all the cars. Now let's move on to the other stuff, shall we? So pretty much here's the cargo that came in that box. So first off here is, well, a sugar cargo, since that's what it says on there, sugar. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I'll say with that. And next up here is this cargo. Now I'm not sure in particular if this is a Thomas cargo or what this is, since I've never seen. I think I've seen this one before, but I can't remember. So either way, yeah. And then yeah, let's move on. Pretty much the final things that were in there are just some random stuff. So next up here is just a simple piece of old Trekmaster track. So yeah, so moving on. Next up here is, well, a bridge piece. So yeah, so that's all I'll say. And then yeah, the final things that were in that box were these two. First off is a water piece, and yeah, and the final thing that was in that box is this thing, which is basically a bridge piece. So yeah, so pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much everything that was in that box. So once again my aunt paid $20 for that box of characters, and that was pretty much everything that was in there. Now let's move on to the other thing that my aunt got. Now let's move on to the other thing that my aunt got from that person. And before I move on, I'm sorry if I'm getting my words mixed up. Anyways, yeah, like I said, let's move on. So the final thing that my aunt got from that person when she went to the place, which by the way, my aunt got all these items for me at a thrift store. So yeah, so the final item that my aunt got for me from that person is this thing, and this is the switchback switchback. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that switchback swamp thing, whatever you call it. And listen, the cool thing about this is that, like I said, my aunt paid $3 for this, and it's never been opened. And like I said, that's the cool thing. I even checked in the box when I went over there, but I didn't open it though. But I checked the box, and yeah, everything was in there, newly wrapped. And yeah, so either way, $3 for this. I think that's pretty cool. And plus, I never actually had this before, so that's the cool thing. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Next up here we have this item, which is, as you can see, this is the All Engines Go Water Ice Salty. Now a while back, my aunt actually ordered this guy for me on Amazon when she ordered two of the other characters I showed you previously, and he finally came. Also, another thing is that this salty wasn't supposed to arrive until July 12th, but hey, he came early, so that's actually pretty cool. but either way, it's finally nice to have them. And yeah, like since I've been looking for them for a long time. But yeah, I'm glad I finally have them in my collection. Anyways, let's move on, shall we? Next up here we have is All Engines Go Motorized Talking Diesel, or just All Engines Go Talking Diesel. And pretty much, yeah. So, pretty much, yeah, he's another character I've been looking for a while. And fun fact, the last time I went to Target, he was there, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get him. So, but well, that was when I was with my aunt when we went to Dave and Buster's. So she said about Amazon. So we looked on Amazon, and he's more cheaper there. So pretty much my aunt got him for me from Amazon, but I don't mind like him. But yeah, but pretty much yeah. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, let's move on. So yeah, so sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, the final item for this video, and the final item that I got yesterday on Saturday, since it's officially Sunday now. So the final item that I got on Saturday is this item, which is the All Engines Go Motorized Talking Thomas. Well, this is pretty much the new one that they made, since back in 2020 they made a Thomas that comes with Danny and Clairbo, which, by the way, I got that first Talking Thomas. So now I have both the Talking Thomases. And yeah, I figured I'd save this one because, well, I figured I'd show you this one. Like, what I'm trying to say is that I was gonna show you what Talking Diesel says, but then I remembered that it would probably activate this Thomas, and I wanted to save it. But now since I showed you all the items, since I showed you all the items I got, let me press Diesel.
Hiya, friends. Let's race.
Hi, Diesel.
Yeah, as you heard, that was Thomas, but let me press Thomas.
Hello, friend.
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool that they still talk to each other, even when inside the box. But yeah, but pretty much, yeah. Let me move this off to the side. So yeah, so pretty much, yeah, with that, that's pretty much all the items that I got. So, pretty much, yeah. So, hope you guys don't mind that this video is long, and once again, I apologize for that I didn't know how long this video would be, but like I said, hope you guys don't mind about that. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I'll say. So anyways, yeah, before in this video, two things I'll mention. First thing is, I'm sorry if I accidentally got my words mixed up, and second thing is, I'm sorry if I accidentally said something bad by mistake. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I'll say. So anyways, yeah, now thanks for watching, and bye everyone, bye.